Hi everybody. Going to be working on Union Spring. Try to make it look a little bit better, more like the prototype. A picture surfaced, which I'll show you here in a minute. After, of course, I'd already had the building done. That's the way it always happens, it seems like. You come up with more information. Um, and so I'm going to fix the lettering. The lettering didn't say exactly that, and it was on the long end of the building, not on the unloading area. I'm going to make the loading dock a little bit more like it was. Now my track is actually a lot closer to the building than theirs was. You'll see in the picture where they actually have like an extension out from the building, like a little tunnel that they go through to load the box cars. I can't do completely that, I'm too close, but I can sort of represent it a little bit. And I'm also going to add the windows that you'll see in the picture. I'm going to try to anyhow. We'll see how it's going to work. First thing we're going to have to do is just mask off. Well, I'm going to have to scrape the paint off the Union Spring manufacturing. It's on there now. Or paint over it if I have some of that paint. And but that is supposed to be a different color. That loading area is a different color than the rest of the building. The picture I'm going to show you is black and white. You won't be able to see it, but the color is actually pretty accurate. But I'm going to mask that off, mask the roof off, the loading dock, and repaint this whole side so the weathering's all gone, everything. Then I'm going to make some decals to put on there, and also decals some windows. We'll see how that's going to work. I don't know if that's going to work or not. This isn't a real visible place on my layout anyhow. So I'm going to try it anyhow. I think I'd rather do that than to try to cut in all the windows. So this is my next project in my continuously improving the appearance. So I'll keep you posted as I go along. Okay, this is the picture I was talking about. You can see the sort of tunnel loading dock for the boxcar, and also the windows, and the lettering is quite a bit different than it is on my building. This is an overhead view. The gravel road used to be another spur to another company on across Main Street, but that's what it looks like today anyhow. Well, I'm in the garage this morning because we've had torrential rain all night and this morning. Wish I could bottle some of that up and send it to California and Oregon. Really feel sorry for those people out there. I know that also Microtrains and KD are out in Oregon. That's just a small personal thing that affects us N-scalers, but please keep your thoughts and prayers for all the people that are affected by the wildfires, and hope they get some relief soon. Anyhow, I've got the painted where the sign used to be, and I've repainted this entire side. You're not going to see that loading door when I put the extension on it, but I'll go ahead and replace it anyhow. That's actually just a paper cutout from Lance Mindheim's website. He has some templates on there that you can download and print out, and I had sized it for N-scale. So as soon as the paint completely dries, I'm going to put some decals on this and weather it. So that's what's coming next. Now I'm out on the back porch. We had a rainy morning, but it's finally stopped. These are the decals. I made those on a computer, and made two different sizes. Not sure which size I'm going to use. And these are the windows. I just got those off of Google search, the sort of generic window, and I'm going to try to see if the decals will work for the windows. Again, this is sort of facing the back of the layout. You can see it if you walk around to the end, but I'm not super worried if it's not perfect. So I'll put the decals on as soon as the paint is dry. Here's the building after I repainted it. You really can't see in the videos I had before. I don't know if I can get into it or not. I did put a little bit of an interior in this. It's actually just a photo. I'll tilt it up so maybe you can see it. Maybe I'll put some lighting in there someday, and I wanted somebody to be able to see it. There's sort of my loading dock But anyhow, I'm going to have to touch up a little bit of the paint. That's okay. It's hard to mask off stuff when you have all the details on it. But now it's to the point where I can go ahead and start putting the decals on. Okay, the decals are on, and the windows are on too. Remember, those are decals. I actually made them on the computer. I put a background behind them so you wouldn't be able to see through them. Maybe just look dark, but I don't think I made it dark enough. So it sort of faded out, but still the effect is there. Like I said, this isn't like a foreground model that you're going to look at all the time, so I think I'll live with it. I do need to replace that door, and I'll do that next. Still working on getting the microsaw to get all the lettering down. Because I shortened my building, I didn't have room for this iota division at the end like it was in the prototype photo, but I thought it would be good still to have it, so I went ahead and put it just below it. Again, I'm just trying to capture the general effect. I'm not trying to, at least on this building, trying to model it exactly. So I'll keep working. I'm going to work on that loading dock door next. Well, here's the finished product. The windows, I think, turned out okay. Again, this is actually the back of the layout. The only time you see that side is when you actually go around and look at it. So they're just supposed to represent windows. Again, that sure beat the heck out of cutting all those windows in. And I will weather it a little bit to blend it in a little bit better. Besides that, I'm fairly happy with it. I did add some steps, and I sort of enclosed that loading dock like you saw in the prototype photo. It doesn't really convey the sense of a tunnel like the other one did. Again, hindsight being 2020, I maybe shouldn't have angled the spur as much. I could have made the building more rectangular and put it a little bit farther away from the tracks. But that's okay. We all make compromises in our layouts, and this is one that I'll live with. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything else with this building other than add some more details to the loading dock probably. You can see the Blueford Shops corn there. I really like that. And actually, this gravel road used to be a roadbed. At one time, the B&O, the spur, kept on going on this gravel road, and it crossed East Main Street and went to a basic construction company where they had sand and gravel. They loaded out of there. So that's why that gravel road is there. I think that's about it. I will end the video with a little update on my diorama. I've been adding some more details to it. But that's it for Union Spring. Now, before we talk about the diorama, I got a shipment today. There are Long Shadows model trees. I bought them off eBay. There are birches and oaks. The one here with the gray bark is a birch, and then the other two are oaks. So I put them in place of the Woodlands Scenic trees. What I like about these is they're taller. The Woodland Scenic trees, the ones I bought, weren't very tall, and so these are actually taller than the houses, which you see a lot of in older neighborhoods. You'll see, 50, 60-foot trees with pretty good diameters. So all these were about the same size. I think he makes smaller ones too, but I'm happy with them. Now, Mary Lou Patton Park, where I put these trees, they don't really have trees like this. Sort of use modeler's license, but our city park in Chillicothe and the VA Memorial Stadium out at the VA hospital has a lot of big trees like this around the ballparks. And I've watched many ball games there, and you'll see balls hit into the trees, both fair and foul. I've seen home runs disappear into the trees at nighttime, which is pretty cool. So I think these are a good addition to the layout. We'll probably try to get some smaller ones, maybe put over there in front of wherever and here and there. I don't have a lot of place for trees on this layout, but there's plenty left over. I bought 2 packages of them, so I can save them for the next layout. And one more thing I want to show you on my, this is in the staging area sort of. I cut that building down. There weren't any buildings really that tall in Chillicothe. and I boarded up the upper windows to make it look like it's a rundown area, because in Chillicothe the area around the Main Street bypass is pretty rundown. I'll probably add some rooftop details on that sometime. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I did board up the windows on the upper floor, just sort of make it look like a little bit more representative of Chillicothe. Now onto the diorama. As you can see, I went ahead and finished the track to the end of the board and the ground cover. There's really no other details to add to it though. There's no buildings or anything. Added a grade crossing sign. There's a little sign underneath that says 2 tracks. There's a utility pole that was there in photos that was cut off, but they still had the Route 93 sign on it and Route 279, so I modeled that. Come around here, the air conditioner had a board holding it up, which is real common, a little 2x4, so I modeled that. I've got a GP35 staged there like I'm running around the train. So here you can see the end of the board. I finished it all off, but really, unless I can find some pictures with something else to show, that's about it. One last note, getting ready to run some trains this weekend outside. It's a cool morning here. It's in the 40s. It's supposed to get up to 68 today. Be a really nice weekend to run some trains outside. But I wanted to add that when I talk about where I bought something, I'm not getting paid for any of this stuff. I only have a couple hundred subscribers. I don't get endorsements or anything. So if I like something, I'm just going to tell you where I got it in case you like it. So that's all. I just wanted to make sure everyone didn't think I was getting this stuff for free and putting plugs in for someone. Have a good weekend.